Hi guys, I'm here to walk you through how to use Zearn for kindergarten. The kindergarten programming on Zearn is a little bit different than grades 1 through 5, so I wanted to explain a few things to you. When you get your username and your password and you've logged into Zearn, this is the page that's going to pop up. Let's first take a look at the curriculum. For grades 1 through 5, when you click on one of those grade levels, they're all split into something called missions. So if you click on a particular mission, what's going to happen is each lesson is going to have something called a fluency, couple activities, a guided practice, an independent practice, and a bonus. Now, for kindergarten, the programming is a lot more paper-based, so lots of schools use this actually in the classroom. It's aligned to the Engage New York and Eureka curriculum. So kindergarten is a lot less technologically advanced on this particular program. I think they're working to change that a little bit, but for right now, it is mostly paper-based. So in kindergarten, you would have 6 different missions. But again, like I said, there isn't that technology piece like the 1st through 5th grade programming has. So if you were to click on one of these missions, it would show you all the different lessons in the paper-based curriculum and give you all the lessons that way. Now, obviously, we're working remotely. That's not really going to be super useful to us. What this does have in kindergarten, though, is a set of digital activities, so kind of games that the kids can do. And it's split into 4 different categories. So numbers to 5, numbers to 10, 15, and to 20. And these are all the different games that come with it. They all work sequentially, so it will kind of move them lower and then a little bit into the higher numbers. So I just wanted to be straightforward about that. It's a little different in kindergarten than it is in the other grade levels, so just so you're aware. So the first time you log into Zearn, you are going to want to start making your class. So you're going to go to this button up here that says roster. And what you're going to be doing is adding students. So I've already added a few in here. So let's add in another one. So let's say we're adding a student in. First name, last name. You're going to see this code over here that is going to be important for us in a minute. Type in their name, hit next. You can do more than one student at a time. Okay. They're going to give you a username and a password that hasn't been used yet. If you would like to change that, you're able to. What I've suggested to 2nd and 3rd grade is to put in their same email and the same password that they have for their email to kind of keep everything the same if we can. For now, I'll just keep this one and I'll change my password. And then I'm going to pick my grade level, which will be kindergarten. And I'm going to hit next. Now, this is where you're going to pick a starting point. So where do you want the students to start? Kindergarten. Julie suggested that maybe you guys would want to start on numbers to 10. So why don't we put that for now? You can go back and edit this and change individual students if you need to, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Okay, so this is what you would give kind of to your students, or what the information you would let them know. They need to go to zearn.org, they need to type in their username and their password, and they're gonna need their class code, and then they're gonna sign in. I believe you only need that class code the very first time you log in, and then it saves it for you. Okay, so let's go in under a student account and I'll show you a little bit about what that looks like. So I'll go right into that student I just made. Okay, like I said, they're gonna need that class code that first time they log in. I think they'll also need it if they're logging in on a new device. So this is the page that the students will see the first time they log in. Whatever activity it wants them to start with is going to show right up here first, and there's going to be an ability to hit a start button of some kind. So they'll go through and they'll play these games. In order to get a new game, they have to finish this one first. So this one, for example, is counting. If they get something incorrect, they have a couple tries, and then the program will teach it to them.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so once they've completed this whole activity, a new one will pop up right here. If they click on My Stuff, they'll be able to go backwards to games that they've already completed and try them again if they want. The program will pick them up wherever they leave off. So that's going to be up to the kindergarten team how many you want to assign per day. That is up to you. It's just going to keep moving them right along. So let's log back in as a teacher. Let's say you are noticing that Joe Smith is having a lot of trouble on his numbers through 10. So we're going to go back to our roster page and we're going to click on Joe Smith. I'm deciding that I didn't like where I started him. I'm going to change his lesson. So instead of doing numbers to 10, let's have him start on numbers to 5. So now when he logs in, he's going to be on a different programming. Okay, the other class might still be on that numbers to 10, but we decided he couldn't handle it. We're going to move him down to something that he can handle, and that's going to work for him. Now, another unfortunate thing about the kindergarten program is that it isn't as great when it comes to the reports. Grades 1 through 5 have all these different things that they can look at to see how students are progressing. For kindergarten, it's a little different. We can only really see their activities that have been finished. So for example, Joe Smith, we didn't really do anything on his account. We didn't finish anything, so he hasn't done anything yet. But it does tell me when he logged in last. Josh Allen, we were using him a little earlier. We got through 3 activities with him. So that's showing me what he's already done. Now it's on all those digital activities, they're not all games. Some of them are videos for counting. Some of them have videos for skip counting. So it's not all games. There are some videos on there too, just so you know. A couple of the other grade levels, we're thinking about using Google Forms. So it's an attachment that you can put onto your Google Classroom if you feel like you're not getting enough with assessment, to maybe take a look at doing something like that to assess how your students are doing on these activities. Like I said, the kindergarten programming on here isn't, 100% what we'd want, but we're just going to have to kind of figure out a way to work around that. If you have any questions about any of this, the resources tab is very helpful. If you even just type in kindergarten, lots will pop up for you to play around with. Okay. If you have any questions about anything, you can feel free to email me or Julie, ask any questions you need to ask. The program itself is very easy to use. Again, I apologize that the kindergarten is not as intense as the 1st through 5th. But the good news is that with this program, parents really don't even need to be sitting next to their kids. They can really just have them log right in, and the kids can be up and running on their own, which really is a benefit, especially for parents who are working or, can't really sit right next to them. At least this is something for them to keep going with on their own. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me or Julie. We can help you work through any problems that you're having. Let us know. Thanks.